Hi, it's your Star Goddess. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a paranormal experience that I had. This was as an adult, and I was probably about 27, and I was living in a brand new house, just built, and my husband and I had already had one child, and we just moved into this house, and then I got pregnant with my second child. But that house, I never liked it. I didn't like it. I never wanted to buy it. I was like really hesitant. I was like, I don't like this house. I don't like this house. And he was like, well, it's brand new and it'll grow on you and this and that. And I didn't have a good feeling. And so I just, chalked it up to hormones and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, that's fine. We moved into the house. Everything was fine for a little while. And then like this dark energy, I wouldn't say dark energy, but like this heavy energy, I could feel it. It was thick. And I couldn't explain what it was. I was like, okay, there's something that's just, weird. So it was a negative energy. It was really thick, and I could feel it every time I walk in the door. And so I was like, well, maybe it's just my imagination. But as I lived there a few more years, a lot of bad things started happening. Just like when I used to live in another house when I was a child that was built in an area where there were a lot of Native Americans, because I could go in my backyard and dig up arrowheads in my childhood home. And so I know that there was a lot of energy on that land as well. So I researched the land that I was living in, which is in Missouri City, Texas. And it was on a piece of property called Sienna Plantation. That should give it away right there, right? So I was dumb, and I just thought, oh, they just named it that because it's a big piece of land and da da da. I looked it up, and it actually used to be a real slave plantation. And I was like, no wonder I feel like such heaviness here. There's lots of negative energy here. And we lived right behind a creek, and it was called Oysters Creek. It was like in our backyard. We could walk to it. We open our gate and there's the creek. There was alligators in there. There's like forest behind there. It was like a really nice area. It's like one of the nicest areas to live in Texas. Okay, so we thought we were living in this really nice area. So I looked it up online, and Stephen F. Austin used to own this plantation, and like it was stretched. It was huge piece of land, and then they sold it to other people and other people down the line, till the last people that owned it were two sisters. And like the history is that like whenever slaves would try to escape, they would like go to the creek or the little river, and a lot of times they would just get shot and killed there. And so I live right by that water, and everybody knows that water increases like spiritual activity as well. So I'm living right next to water, where people were probably shot and killed. I live on land that slaves used to work, and I'm very sensitive, so I could feel that energy. So a lot of stuff started happening, like lots of arguing, and that wasn't just us. It was like our whole block. Those houses were just like brand new. People moved in, and we knew a few couples on the blocks, and they were all like having issues and troubles and stuff like that. One even got divorced. One lost their job and had to move, and it was just like all at once. And so I was like, I don't want to live here anymore. Let's move. This energy in this house is crazy. I started seeing, like, how you can see stuff out of the side of your eyes move by real fast, like shadows and lights and stuff like that. I started seeing those more and more, and I'm like, there is something in here on this land. It's not just our house, it's just the land. So finally, after being there, what, like 2 years? Or maybe it was 4 years. I don't remember how long it was 2 or 4 years. I can't remember. But anyway, we moved. No, it was 4 years. We moved like out because like it was getting too bad, you know, the heaviness, everybody was always on edge. So, you know, we left and everything got better after that. It was like a weight had been lifted and it was just nice. And so I don't think anyone like who's sensitive, and especially living by like a running water that, you know, automatically attracts paranormal activity. I don't think that's why. So always research the land before you move on something, because you never know what went down there. And by the time you get there, it might be too late and you might not be able to afford to move. But yeah, we lost a lot of money on the house because it was a brand new house. It was in the nicest neighborhood in, you know, considered that area. And, you know, it wasn't working. And I chalk it up to, you know, negative energies and what happened on that land and all that, because I used to have lots of bad dreams. No one was happy. It was just like everyone was being drugged down. So if you've ever had like a paranormal experience that like nothing like super freaky happened, but you just had like this heavy feeling on you all the time, and you know, you found out the place that you were had a lot of negative things happen there, let me know, because a lot of people are really sensitive to stuff like that. And some people, you know, they can walk by and not even feel anything and just go on about their business. But I'm a Pisces and we're like very sensitive to stuff like that. So that's why I felt it so strong, you know. Anyway, so we moved back out to Katy, where I grew up, and this is a much lighter feel over here. So we're not on the same land, I guess. It's just a couple of blocks over, but it's a much better energy over here. So my husband thinks I'm crazy when I talk about, oh, I don't feel this. This energy is bad. He's like, he doesn't feel anything. But eventually, people that say that they can't feel anything, they do start to feel it. They just don't realize what it is. They just think they're in a bad mood, or they're depressed, or they're sick, or something like that. They don't realize it's that energy that's, you know, making them feel that way. Because as soon as you get someone out of like a certain environment, they change. So you have to really research before you move into somewhere. There's even some apartments. I never lived in these apartments, but I read about it in one of my books that I checked out from the library. There's these apartments and it's built over a cemetery and it's still there, and they haven't torn them down. And there's lots of people that say, oh, I can hear stuff at night and blah 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 blah. And then there's a cemetery right next to it, but they took some of the land from the cemetery to build the apartments on, because it was an old cemetery and a lot of the graves were unmarked. So they just, you know, no one's gonna. Anyway, so yeah, true story. But so if you're in a relationship or in a family and y'all are having lots of issues and things just seem like they won't let up, and you're just always having bad things happen, and check the land that you live on. You know, check the land, because sometimes it's not, you know, what you think it is. It's something totally different. So check the land that you live on. I even looked up, you know, the owners' histories and what they were into. So you gotta like do some research before you move. And a lot of the times, if you know this, you can avoid falling into, you know, the moods or letting the energies take over. You can do protections. You can probably go do something out on the land, some kind of magic to you know, block off that energy from where you are, because a lot of people can't move. And back then, you know, I was not able to practice freely as I am now. But yeah, if I would have known, I could have done something. I tried, like I did do the sage and all that stuff, but nothing worked. That energy was just too bad on that land. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all later. Bye.